Lex, you're having a difficult day. If nothing else, I can at least learn the Flash's secret identity. I have no idea who this is.
Welcome to the latest edition of Dice Masters Rewind. In this series, we take a look at classic combos from the history of Dice Masters and attempt to bring them into the modern age. In today's video, we'll be looking at one of the more powerful teams from the golden age of Dice Masters, the Bard Blitz. This team focuses on Half-Elf Bard, Master Lord's Alliance from the Faerun Under Siege starter set. There are many variations of this team, but we're going to focus on one in particular. We are looking at the 2016 World Championship team piloted by Guillermo Rodriguez. This version of the team uses multiple control pieces that become offensive threats when combined with the Half-Elf Bard. Obviously, the win condition with this team is to attack with Bard along with a whole field of other characters in order to overpower your opponent. The more characters that attack, the more of a threat each attacker becomes. Let's take a closer look at how Bard works before moving on. Half-Elf Bard states, when Half-Elf Bard attacks, each attacking character die gets +1A and +1D for each of your other different character dice. Your entire field gets a stat buff when you're aggressive with your attacks. This is an ability we have not seen since 2016. Until now. Barry Allen, the rare from the recently released Superman Kryptonite Crisis set, has a similar ability. Barry Allen states that when Barry Allen attacks, each attacking character die gets +1A, +1D for each of your other attacking character dice. You will note that the wording of these cards results in a different buff based on the number of dice that you attack with. Let's look at a quick example here. Let's look at how an attack from Half-Elf Bard would look if you were to attack with Bard, 3 sidekicks, and another character. In this example, Half-Elf Bard will be the attacker with the other characters. The ability of Bard looks at the different character types that are also attacking. In this case, there are 2 additional character types, Sidekick and Aquaman, that will result in all characters getting a +2A and +2D stat bump. Now let's take a look at the same situation, but this time with Barry Allen as the attack engine. Here, Barry Allen's ability will look at how many character dice are also attacking. In this example, there are a total of 5 character dice attacking, which will result in all characters getting a +4A and +4D stat bump. A small wording difference on the cards results in a big stat bump. So we know Barry Allen is a suitable replacement as a modern Bard. Let's take a look at how we can change the rest of this team to bring it into the modern age. Obviously, Barry will be taking the place of Bard, but what else can we change straight across? Doomcaliber Knight has a global that prevents your attacking character dice from being the target of global abilities. This prevents things like static field or distraction from bouncing back your attackers. Currently in Modern, there are a couple of different options that give you access to the same global. Gladiator from the Dark Phoenix Saga set saw the return of this global ability after a long hiatus. Similarly, the new Hawkman from Superman Kryptonite Crisis gave us the exact same global. Either one of these cards could directly substitute for Doomcaliber Knight. However, the new Modern does not currently have things like static field or easy ways to bounce back attacking characters, so this is not a big concern right now, and I'd actually drop it from the Modern Bard team. With a free slot open, let's take a look at the other pieces and see what we can and cannot use. Professor X has the famed PXG Global that has provided ramp and churn unlike anything else the game has ever seen. It has never been reprinted and we do not have access to it in Modern, so let's drop the Professor from the build as well. With a Professor slot now open, let's take a quick look at the other abilities that are currently not viable in Modern. In Modern, none of these abilities are presently available. Although there was supposed to be a replacement for Constantine Hellblazer, it has not yet been released, maybe someday. So, unfortunately, as good as some of these cards are, they all gotta go. Not much is left from this World Championship team, only Oracle and Resurrection remain. For gameplay purposes, both of these cards can be functionally replaced. Oracle's global attacks can directly be replaced with one of 2 characters currently in Modern. Pip the Troll from Infinity Gauntlet has the exact same ability to increase the cost of globals by 1 on his uncommon card. Similarly, the more recent Jean Grey from the Dark Phoenix Saga can do the exact same thing on her uncommon card. She has the added benefit of having better overall stats to maybe help keep her in the field, so Jean would be my first choice. Now let's look at Resurrection. Nobody cares what the action does, it's the prep global that we care about. While we do not have this on a basic action, we do essentially have the same functional global on Wolverine from Dark Phoenix Saga. Instead of a shield, this version will cost you a fist. Bag control can stay on this former World Championship team. So this is all that has really survived as a direct substitution from Guillermo's Bard team to the modern Barry Allen team. Before we build further, let's look at the biggest potential problems for this team. What are the biggest threats to the team? There are obvious the blankers like Typhoid Mary, the rare Drax that prevents you from fielding crucial characters, but we are more concerned with something much, much worse. Wonder Woman Legendary, the super rare from Superman Kryptonite Crisis, is the latest control card to enter the game. She has many great abilities, but this is the one that we are most focused on. While Wonder Woman is active, all opposing when fielded and when attacks abilities are stopped dead in their tracks. For Barry Allen, this is a big deal. If his when attacks ability does not trigger, there are no buffs to be had and the team dies. She'll be the biggest problem with this team, so let's focus on the rest of the build on how do we prevent Wonder Woman from ruining our day. Obviously, we need removal and lots of it to deal with Wonder Woman. Before we look at that, let's reconsider Jean Grey for a moment. Without static field and the like, we're not super concerned with global abilities that our opponent wants to use, and for that reason, Jean Grey is out. I think we can make better use of her slot, but there's no reason Jean Grey cannot stay. This is more of a personal preference for me. Do what you want to do, though. First things first, we want to bounce back to our Princess Diana problem. Intimidate is one of the best tools to get around her abilities. In New Modern, there are not a lot of options. Tombstone is actually not a bad option here. Not only do you get his Intimidate ability, you also get some control against the low-cost characters. With Intimidate, we don't need to worry about Wonder Woman stopping the ability. It gets around her because it is a keyword ability. A 4-cost character is not a bad option, but something cheaper would definitely help us with removal, and also give Barry cheap characters to attack with. We are going back to the beginning of the New Modern with the rare Black Widow, Widow's Hunt. Her purchase cost is great on this team, and we get some removal when her Energize ability triggers.
And remember kids, Energize is bobbins.
Thanks, Chris, and now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Okay, so we've got some removal, we've got a low-cost character, we've got some bag control, but we have some potentially horrendous fielding costs on some key characters. Barry Allen himself has 2 cost on level 2 and level 3. Tombstone has a 4 fielding cost on level 3. That's unfortunate, but Superman Crisis has given us a way to deal with that. The new Robin, we're looking at the super rare here, Flying Grayson, has a global ability that allows us to field our first character for free. Barry and Tombstone can now be fielded for a much more reasonable cost. Secondarily, the Robin die itself has a great removal ability. We're going for a big field here, so there's potential that Robin would have some serious removal options here. These are all character-based removal options, all depend on the dice coming out and rolling on the right face at the right time. What if we had something a little faster to deal with all those annoying opposing characters? Let's look at a force attack global. We're shooting for an aggressive team, so this won't hurt us too much. There are lots of options here in the New Modern, and this may be one of the best control options out there right now. But we're going to focus on using the force attack from the Slinger's basic action card from the Play at Home Organized Play Kit. If all else fails, life is a resource, and you can force something through unblocked. You take the damage, but you remove the problem. Wonder Woman, gone. I think we have lots of removal options now, so I think opposing control pieces are going to be under control. However, the main character we need to purchase on this team is a 7 cost. We need a way to make Barry Allen more affordable. Spoiler, we're going to look at 2 cards that have powerful globals that are made for this team. First, the rare Mr. Sinister from the Dark Phoenix saga has the global for ramping and thinning out sidekicks. We also get the benefit of adding sidekicks to our field zone, which will give Barry more friends to attack with. Next, we need the Dark Phoenix global. Pick whichever Dark Phoenix you want, as they all have the global ability. Reducing the cost of Barry is essential on this team, and this global is probably the best way to accomplish this. For the cost of a bolt, knock out a character and you reduce the purchase cost of the next die you purchase by 2, so that effectively brings Barry from a 7 cost to a 5 cost. You can repeat this multiple times to bring him down even further, but this is probably one of the best ways to purchase Barry Allen in Modern. The team is really coming together here, but we still need to fill these final slots. As we are focusing on wide fields, maybe we should play into the strategy a little bit. Brainiac 5, the rare from Superman Kryptonite Crisis, is Venerable Dreadnought 2.0. Your entire field will gain the range keyword with this die. In the event that your opponent also has a wide field, range will allow you to thin it out by pinging off blockers before they can be declared. 1 slot left, and it's always the famous second basic action slot. I think there's lots of options here, but why not continue with their control and removal options? We currently do not have a blanker of our own, so Besmirch can fill that last slot. In case of an emergency, Besmirch can cause an opposing character to lose its ability text. You could include Typhoid Mary in this build instead, but with all the force attack options out there, she will not be staying in the field for long. The basic action feels like a better play here, if we need a die that can blank other characters. So there we have it. This was the tale of Bardy Allen. From former 2016 World Championship deck to this. Does the Flash have the legs to keep up with its predecessor? How do you feel about this Bardy build? What would you include on your version of the team? Let me know in the comments below. That brings us to the end of our latest Dice Masters Rewind. Do you have an old school combo that you want to see brought into the modern age? Drop us a comment down below and maybe it can make it to the next episode. You can also contact us on all of the socials at dmNorthTV or via our website at www.dm-north.com. If you like our content, please give us a like and subscribe. It helps us out more than you know. Also, if you enjoy board game content, check out our sister channel, Only Games CA. Links are all in the description below. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.